Hi guys, so I just got accepted into Adthrive Platinum and I'm pretty excited about that. I want to explain to you a little bit about what that means, how you get there, and exactly what that does. And also what other alternatives are there for Adthrive Platinum, because there's also like sort of this upper tier to Mediavine. And of course Ezoic has this tiered structure as well. So I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk a little bit about the whole display ad landscape right now, how I see the different ad networks, how I work with them right now, and how I see the future and the development with display ads. So let's start with this Adthrive Platinum thing that I just got invited into. So it used to be something you get invited to whenever you have one site hitting around 750,000 page views over a month. So that's a heck lot of page views. So they recently updated this, so you don't need 750,000 page views anymore. What you need now to get into Adthrive Platinum is to have $250,000 from Adthrive in a year. And that's a little different. It's just a different approach, looking at how much revenue you generate rather than how many page views you have. And I think that change is a clever change. It makes a lot of sense. So if you do calculate these 750,000 page views into $250,000 per year, that means that you would need to have an RPM of 26 to 27 for those 750,000 page views in order to make 250 grand per year with Adthrive. So I think that's a reasonable RPM to have. Mine is a little higher. That also means that I could get in before I had 750,000 page views. So that's all pretty cool. So now let's talk about what does this mean for my sites and what do you get when you reach this platinum level. So first of all, you get more support. You get 24/7 all week round support. Whenever there's something, they'll be super quick to resolve it, and they'll also pay even more attention to your site performance. They will also assign more personnel to look after your ad inventory, make sure that you get better deals, you get higher RPMs. So that should happen, and I'll be happy to update you guys on what actually happens with the RPM as I move into this program. But the coolest part about this is that I can now onboard any site to Adthrive. I don't need to meet any requirements in terms of page views or anything like that. Of course, the sites still have to comply with all the quality guidelines they have. But for the page view requirements, I don't have to wait till it have a certain amount of page views per month. And that also means that I can onboard some of my smaller sites. So I'm gonna move a few sites from Ezoic over to Adthrive now that I can do that. So that's basically it, as I understand it. I don't think there's anything more to it other than they are sending me this package with stuff that I'm waiting for. I don't know what'll be in the box, but I think that's pretty cool. I like the way Adthrive will eventually send you stuff. It's just cool. I have this mug and other things that they sent me. So talking about the other ad networks, we also find something similar to this platinum thing with Adthrive over with Mediavine. So with our bigger sites, our bigger blogs, I very much see the ad network landscape as this duopole. You have Adthrive and Mediavine. That's just how it is. And with Mediavine, they don't have a platinum tier that you can reach, but they do have this tiered structure where you can earn a higher revenue share. So if you have 5 million ad impressions, so this is not page views, but ad impressions, and you'll have several ad impressions per page view. But if you have 5 million ad impressions over a month, you get to take home 80% of the revenue, meaning that they are taking a 20% cut instead of the initial 25% cut they take. And if you can take your site to 15 million ad impressions per month, you can take home 85% of the revenue. And on top of that, for every year you stayed with Mediavine, you'll get 1% more of the revenue. So they have this revenue share model where you get a higher and higher percentage of the revenue you make. And I think that's really, really cool. And that's also why I see more and more bigger sites and bigger blogs and publishers moving their bigger sites to Mediavine, because taking home a bigger percentage of your revenue, that always beats a little more support or being able to onboard the smaller sites, because they don't really make any difference. If you have a site with like 1 million page views, taking home a few more or 5% more of that revenue, that's just a total trump on everything, I would say. And I haven't seen this or heard about this with Adthrive. Seems like they always take the same cut from your revenue, but I do think they will probably have to do something similar in the long run, because I do hear more and more publishers moving from Adthrive to Mediavine as the sites get bigger, because you can just take home a bigger cut of your revenue, which of course is awesome. I mean, I would have liked to see that with the Adthrive premium thing, that I actually get a higher percentage of the revenue, rather than just them tweaking more and onboarding more sites and giving me a little bit more support. I mean, that's great and all, I love that, but I would rather see 5% more directly into my bank account every month. So you might wonder, where is Ezoic in all this? And to me, I still have sites on Ezoic. There are some sites that I have that do not qualify for Mediavine or Adthrive, because they are mainly like European traffic or something like that. So they will never get into Adthrive or Mediavine. But I'm not a huge fan of this premium thing with Ezoic, where you have to pay to get the good ads. Because once you move your site to Adthrive and Mediavine, I've done that several times in my experience, you just get a higher revenue for your site. You just get better RPMs, and I think it's because you don't have to pay for the premium thing. And on top of that, I really like just to have somebody else set up the ads, optimize them for me, so I don't need to do anything about that, and I can just focus on publishing content. Because with Ezoic, there are just a lot of little things and switches and things you need to optimize for speed and all these things. I mean, just take a look at the dashboard. There are just so many switches you need to understand what they do and such. And I don't want to understand that. I just want to have somebody take care of it, do the best possible job, making me the most money that I can on my sites. I can just focus on publishing. That said, I do like Ezoic very much, for that sole reason that they do onboard people early on. But I did talk to Mediavine recently, and they talked about maybe in a year or two they'll also start some program where you can onboard your site early on, so you don't have to wait for the 50,000. I think it's 50,000 sessions you need right now to get into Mediavine. We might, within a year or two, as it seems, see another program that's kind of more similar to Ezoic, where you can get your smaller site on Mediavine. So it might not pay as well, it might be a little more hands-on, whatever, I don't know, but we'll just have to see. But all in all, that's how I see the ad network landscape player right now. I still very much see Adthrive and Mediavine as the two players that I primarily want my sites on when they qualify. I don't care that much if it's on Mediavine or Adthrive, but if I have a site that gets to that amount of traffic and ad impressions where I can actually get a higher revenue share by moving it to Mediavine, I'll probably do that. Because I don't think Adthrive and Mediavine are that different in terms of RPMs, other than you're able to take home a higher percentage of the revenue with Mediavine eventually when you grow bigger. So I think that's really cool, and definitely a game changer, and definitely something that can incentivize me to move my sites from Adthrive to Mediavine. I mean, I'll always go with the option that makes me the most money, obviously. So let me know in the comments what you think, what your RPMs are, and if you did see any changes, if you took your site from Adthrive to Mediavine or vice versa, or from Ezoic to one of these other networks, what happened with your RPMs, and how happy are you with your ads on your site and all that. Let's have a good discussion in the comments. See you guys.